Before you grab your keys this morning, before you step out the door and into whatever this day holds, pause right here for just a moment. Before the rush begins, before traffic, before meetings, before errands, before every place you are about to go and every person you are about to meet, bring this day to God first. There is no better way to leave home than covered in prayer, wrapped in His peace, walking under His protection before you ever take your first step outside. So much of life happens the moment you cross that threshold from home into the world. Conversations you cannot predict, roads you will travel that carry risks you cannot see, decisions that will need wisdom you do not yet have. It is easy to walk out the door already distracted, mentally rehearsing the day ahead without ever pausing to invite God into it. But this morning, before anything else happens, let this be different. Let your first act of the day be surrender, not striving. Let your first words be a prayer, not a to-do list. There is something powerful about praying before you leave rather than only praying if something goes wrong. Too often, prayer becomes an emergency response, something reached for only after trouble has already arrived. But God invites you into a different rhythm, one where prayer is not the last resort, but the first step, covering your day before you even need it to. You do not need elaborate words for this kind of prayer. You do not need to have every detail of your day figured out before you bring it to God. He simply wants a moment of your attention before you walk out that door, a brief pause where you acknowledge that you are not stepping into today alone, and that everything ahead of you, known and unknown, is already held within His care. This is not a ritual to check off your morning list. It is an actual handing over, a genuine moment of trust before the day takes its first breath. Safety over every step you take. There is a promise tucked into Psalm 121 that offers deep comfort for anyone stepping out into an uncertain day. Verse 8 declares that the Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Notice the scope of this promise. It is not limited to the big, obvious moments. It covers your coming and your going, meaning every ordinary transition throughout your day. Leaving the house, driving to work, walking into a store, returning home tonight. None of it falls outside His watchful care. Proverbs 3:23 offers a similarly reassuring promise, saying that then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. This verse follows directly after an instruction to trust in the Lord and lean not on your own understanding. The safety described here is connected to that posture of trust. It is not a guarantee that nothing difficult will ever happen, but it is an invitation to walk through your day anchored in confidence rather than anxiety, trusting that God's watchful care surrounds you even in moments you are not consciously aware of any danger at all. Psalm 91:11 adds another layer of comfort, describing how God will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Think about that phrase, all your ways. Not just the significant moments, not just the times you remember to pray, but all of it, the mundane commute, the unremarkable errand, the ordinary walk to your car. His protection is not selective or occasional. It is comprehensive, covering every road you will travel today, seen and unseen. Perhaps today includes travel that makes you nervous, a long drive, an unfamiliar route, a flight, or simply the ordinary hazards of daily commuting that most people rarely think twice about. Bring that specifically before God this morning. Ask Him to guard the road ahead of you, to protect you from distracted drivers, from mechanical failures, from any danger you cannot anticipate. You do not have to carry the weight of every possible risk on your own shoulders today. You are placing it into hands far more capable than your own. Safety is not only about physical protection during travel. It extends to protection over your decisions, your words, and your interactions throughout the day. Ask God this morning to guard you from situations that could compromise your safety in ways you might not immediately recognize. An unwise decision made under pressure, a conversation that leads somewhere it should not, an environment that seems harmless at first but carries hidden risk. His watchfulness extends into every corner of your day, not just the parts that feel obviously dangerous. There is also a kind of safety that has nothing to do with physical danger at all. A safety for your heart and mind as you move through today. The world outside your door is often filled with noise, criticism, comparison, and pressure that can quietly erode your sense of peace if you are not careful. Ask God to be a guard over your emotional and spiritual safety as well, protecting your heart from discouragement that might try to settle in through a harsh word, a disappointing outcome, or an unexpected setback somewhere in your day. This kind of protection matters just as much as physical safety, even though it rarely gets discussed with the same urgency. A person can arrive home completely unharmed physically and still feel wounded, discouraged, or depleted by the end of the day because no one thought to pray over the emotional battles that were just as real as any physical risk. This morning, ask God specifically for this kind of covering. Protection for your patience when it gets tested. Protection for your confidence when someone tries to diminish it. Protection for your joy when circumstances try to steal it away. Think about how a soldier does not walk into unfamiliar territory without proper covering, without armor, without backup. In the same way, you were never meant to walk into today unprotected, relying only on your own alertness and caution to keep you safe. God's protection goes ahead of you, surrounds you, and follows behind you, a covering that remains constant whether you remember to think about it or not. This morning, receive that covering intentionally, thanking Him in advance for a day held safely in His hands. As you prepare to step outside, whether your day involves a long commute or simply moving between rooms in your own home, let this truth settle over you. You are not walking into today alone, and you are not walking into it unguarded. The same God who watches over the rising and setting of the sun is watching carefully over every step you are about to take. Psalm 121:1-2 begins with the psalmist lifting his eyes to the hills, asking where his help comes from, and answering that his help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. There is something worth noticing in this posture. Lifting your eyes upward before looking anywhere else for reassurance. Before you check the weather, before you check traffic conditions, before you scroll through the news, lift your eyes toward the one whose help is greater than any information you could gather on your own. Let this be the first place you look for confidence about the day ahead, not the last. A peace that goes with you out the door. Peace is easy to feel while sitting quietly at home, but it can quickly evaporate the moment you step into the busyness and unpredictability of the outside world. Traffic, deadlines, difficult people, unexpected demands. All of these can chip away at the calm you felt just moments earlier. This morning, before you leave, ask God for a peace strong enough to survive contact with the outside world. Not a fragile peace that only exists in stillness, but a durable peace that holds steady even in motion. Psalm 4:8 offers a beautiful picture of this kind of trust, saying, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." Though this verse speaks specifically about rest at night, the principle carries into the morning as well. The same God who watches over you while you sleep is fully capable of watching over you while you are awake and active, moving through a demanding day. Your peace does not depend on staying still. It depends on staying close to Him, no matter how much motion the day requires. Isaiah 26:3 reminds us that God will keep in perfect peace all those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in Him. Notice again that this peace is tied to where your mind remains fixed. As you walk out the door this morning, ask the Holy Spirit to help you keep your thoughts anchored in God throughout the day, rather than letting your mind spiral toward every possible worry the moment circumstances. shift, or challenges arise, 1 Peter 5:7 offers a simple, practical instruction, encouraging us to cast all our anxiety on God because He cares for us. This is not a passive suggestion to simply feel less worried. It is an active invitation to hand your specific anxieties over to Him this morning, one by one if necessary. Whatever has been weighing on your mind as you prepare to leave home today, name it honestly before God right now. He is not asking you to pretend those worries do not exist. He is inviting you to release them into hands far more capable than your own. Perhaps there is a specific situation today that already feels tense. Before it has even happened, a difficult conversation, a stressful appointment, an environment you know will test your patience. Bring that specifically before God this morning. Ask Him to go ahead of you into that moment, preparing hearts, softening tension, and giving you a peace that does not make sense given the circumstances, but remains steady anyway. Think of it this way. If you already know a specific conversation is coming that tends to leave you rattled, you have an advantage. Most difficult moments do not offer advance notice. Use that advance notice as an opportunity for advance prayer. Rather than walking into that meeting or that conversation already bracing for tension, walk in already covered by peace you asked for hours earlier. This does not guarantee the conversation will go exactly as you hope, but it does mean you will not be facing it depleted and unprepared. There is a difference between peace that depends on your surroundings, being calm, and peace that remains constant regardless of what surrounds you. The peace God offers is the second kind. It does not require silence to exist. It can remain steady in the middle of a busy office, a chaotic household, a demanding schedule, or an unexpected crisis. This is what makes it worth asking for specifically before you leave home. Not peace for a quiet morning, but peace durable enough for the full, unpredictable day ahead. Think about carrying this peace the way you would carry your keys or your phone, something you do not leave behind simply because you are stepping outside. Let it travel with you into every room you enter today, every conversation you have, every unexpected interruption to your plans. Whatever happens today, however chaotic or demanding it becomes, you do not have to face it stripped of peace. You can carry it with you, renewed each time you pause to remember that God is present in this moment just as fully as He was present with you at home this morning. Before you take your first step outside, receive this peace fully. Let it settle over your shoulders, your thoughts, your posture as you walk toward the door. You are not stepping into an unpredictable day, unprotected and unsettled. You are stepping into it, covered by a peace that was never dependent on the day going smoothly in the first place. Philippians 4:6-7 promises that when we bring our request to God with thanksgiving, His peace, which surpasses all understanding, will guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Notice the word guard again here, the same protective language used to describe safety over your physical steps. Peace itself becomes a form of protection, standing watch over your thoughts and emotions the same way. God's angels stand watch over your physical path. Ask Him this morning for both kinds of protection together, safety for your body and peace for your mind. Walking out the door fully covered on every side. There is one more thing worth remembering before you step outside this morning. Neither safety nor peace are things you have to earn through perfect faith or flawless prayer. They are gifts offered freely to anyone willing to receive them. You do not need to feel completely confident for God's protection to be real, and you do not need to feel entirely calm for His peace to already be at work in you. Simply bringing your day to Him this morning, however imperfectly, is enough to invite both into every hour ahead. God's presence goes before you. There is a particular kind of comfort in knowing you are not the first one arriving anywhere today. Before you walk into that meeting, before you enter that store, Before you sit down at that desk, God is already there. Exodus 33:14 records one of the most reassuring promises God ever gave, telling Moses that his presence would go with him and that he would give him rest. This was not a promise reserved for extraordinary circumstances. It was a promise for the ordinary, exhausting journey Moses was leading day after day through unfamiliar and often difficult territory. That same promise belongs to you this morning. God's presence does not simply meet you at the end of your day, waiting to hear how things went. He goes ahead of you into every place you are about to walk into. The uncomfortable meeting, the unfamiliar appointment, the ordinary errand that could turn stressful if things do not go as planned. He's already there before you arrive, preparing the way even in ways you may never fully see or understand. Consider how differently you might carry yourself today, knowing this is true. Anxiety often comes from feeling like you are walking into the unknown completely alone, having to figure everything out entirely on your own resourcefulness. But that is simply not the reality for someone who has invited God's presence to go before them. You are not walking into blank, unprepared territory. You are walking into a day that God has already stepped into ahead of you, aware of every detail before you have even encountered it yourself. Deuteronomy 31:6 offers a command wrapped inside a promise. Be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Notice how courage here is not asked of you in isolation. It is asked of you alongside a guarantee that you will not be facing today's challenges without him. This is not blind courage summoned from nowhere. It is courage that makes sense precisely because of who is walking beside you. Psalm 27:1 asks a question worth carrying with you as you step outside this morning. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? This is not a denial that difficult or even frightening situations exist in the world. It is a declaration that none of those situations carry more weight than the one who walks beside you through them. Fear may knock on the door of your heart today through an unexpected phone call, a tense interaction, an unfamiliar situation, but it does not have to be given a permanent seat inside. Think about how different it feels to walk into an unfamiliar building alongside someone who already knows the place well. Someone who has walked those halls 100 times before and knows exactly where everything is. Their familiarity becomes your confidence, even though you yourself are unfamiliar with the surroundings. In the same way, God's presence going before you into today means you do not have to know every detail of what is coming in order to walk forward with confidence. He already knows. He is already there. You simply have to trust the one leading the way. As you leave home this morning, picture God walking just ahead of you into every place your day will take you. Not lagging behind, waiting to catch up if things go wrong. Not distant and uninvolved until you specifically call out to him, but already present, already aware, already preparing the way. This is not a passive presence. It is an active one, working on your behalf even in the ordinary details you might otherwise consider too small to bring before him. There is something deeply steadying about not having to be the first one to walk into an uncertain situation alone. Whether it is a room full of strangers, a conversation you have been dreading, or simply the unknown rhythm of a day that has not happened yet. You are never the one blazing the trail by yourself. God has already gone ahead. Your task this morning is simply to walk forward, trusting that the way has already been prepared, even in details you cannot yet see or understand. Wisdom and guidance for the road ahead. Every day brings decisions, some significant and some so small they barely register as choices at all. Which route to take, how to respond to a frustrating message, whether to speak up in a meeting or hold back. In a world full of competing opinions and constant noise, One of the greatest gifts you can ask for before leaving home this morning is simple, quiet wisdom for whatever decisions today will require of you. Proverbs 16:9 offers an honest and freeing perspective on planning. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. This verse does not discourage planning altogether. It simply reminds you that your plans, however carefully made, are not the final word on how your day unfolds. God retains the ability to redirect, to adjust, to establish a path, even when your own plans encounter unexpected detours. This morning, hold your schedule loosely, trusting that even interruptions can be part of a path He is establishing, rather than simply obstacles derailing your intentions. Psalm 32:8 offers a beautiful promise directly from God's own voice. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Notice the intimacy in this promise, not distant instruction shouted from far away, but personal counsel offered by someone whose eye remains lovingly fixed on you throughout the process. As you move through today's decisions, both the significant ones and the seemingly small ones, ask Him to counsel you specifically, trusting that His guidance is available for the ordinary moments just as much as the major crossroads. James 1:5 reminds us that if anyone lacks wisdom, they should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to them. This means you do not have to walk into today's decisions relying solely on your own limited understanding or the sometimes conflicting opinions of everyone around you. Wisdom is available to you this morning, freely offered, not withheld until you have proven yourself worthy of receiving it. Perhaps there is a specific decision weighing on you as you prepare to leave home today, something you have been turning over in your mind for days already, uncertain which direction is right. Bring it honestly before God this morning. Ask Him to bring clarity where there has been confusion, and peace about whichever direction turns out to be the right one. Wisdom from God often does not arrive as a loud, dramatic answer shouted from the sky. More often it comes quietly, through a settled peace about one option over another, through an unexpected conversation that provides exactly the insight needed, through circumstances that gently confirm what your heart already suspected. As you step outside today, ask the Holy Spirit to sharpen your discernment throughout the hours ahead, helping you recognize wise choices even in fast-moving or pressured moments when there is little time to deliberate carefully. Not every decision today will come with the luxury of extended reflection. Some will require a quick response, a fast read of a situation, an instinct you trust because you have already invited God to shape that instinct this morning before you ever left the house. Think of this morning's prayer as preparation for decisions you cannot yet anticipate. You may not know exactly what choices today will require of you, but by inviting God's wisdom now, before the specific need arises, you are laying groundwork that will already be in place the moment you need it. This is part of why praying before you leave home matters so much. It is not simply about the moment of prayer itself, but about the readiness it builds into the rest of your day. Whatever decisions arise today, whether they involve your work, your relationships, or simply how you choose to respond when things do not go as planned, trust that the wisdom you asked for this morning has not been forgotten the moment you walked out the door. It travels with you, quietly available, ready to surface exactly when you need it most. A blessing over your work and interactions today. Whatever your day holds, whether it is a demanding job, a full schedule of errands, caregiving responsibilities, or a mixture of many different roles, none of it is outside the reach of God's blessing. Colossians 3:23 encourages believers to work at whatever they do with all their heart, as though working for the Lord rather than for people. This reframes even the most ordinary tasks today. The emails, the meetings, the household responsibilities, the interactions with co-workers or strangers as opportunities to honor God rather than simply items to check off a list. Psalm 90:17 offers a prayer worth carrying with you into today's work specifically. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. There is something meaningful about asking God not just to bless the outcome of your work, but to establish it, to build something lasting and meaningful, even through tasks that might otherwise feel repetitive or unremarkable. Ask Him this morning to take whatever you put your hands to today and make it count for something beyond what you can currently see. Proverbs 16:3 offers a simple but powerful instruction. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Before you walk into your first task of the day, take a moment to actually commit it to Him, not as a formality, but as a genuine handing over of your agenda, your goals, and your expectations for how things should unfold. This posture of commitment changes how you carry your responsibilities. Less white-knuckle control. More open-handed trust that God is working alongside you in the details. Think about every person you are likely to interact with today. Co-workers, customers, family members, even strangers you pass briefly. Each of those interactions carries potential, either to reflect God's love in some small way or to simply pass by unnoticed and unremarkable. Ask God this morning to use you as a source of encouragement in at least one interaction. Today, even if you do not know yet who that might be or what it might look like, sometimes the smallest kindness, offered without any expectation of return, becomes exactly what someone else desperately needed that day. You may never know the full impact of a brief kindness offered today. A patient response instead of an irritated one. A genuine question about how someone is doing. A moment of eye contact and attention in a world that often rushes past people without truly seeing them. Ask God to make you aware of these small opportunities as they arise throughout the day, trusting that even seemingly insignificant moments of kindness can carry weight far beyond what you are able to observe in the moment. Whatever frustration or tedium your work might normally bring, ask God to help you see it differently today, not as meaningless obligation, but as an opportunity entrusted to you, however small it may seem. Even the most ordinary tasks, done with care and integrity, become a quiet form of worship when offered intentionally to Him. As you step into today's responsibilities, carry this blessing with you. May your hands be productive, your mind be clear, your patience be sustained, and your work, however visible or invisible to others, be established and blessed by the God who sees every effort you make today, even the ones no one else notices. Ecclesiastes 3:3 reminds us that it is a gift of God when we can find satisfaction in our work, even in its toil. This is a helpful reminder on days when work feels more like burden than blessing. Ask God this morning to restore a sense of purpose to whatever you are about to do today, even in tasks that feel routine or unglamorous, trusting that He is able to bring meaning to effort that might otherwise feel unnoticed and unrewarded. Protection over your home and family while you're away. Leaving home does not mean leaving behind your concern for the people and the place you love most. In fact, for many people, the moment they step out the door is exactly when worry about home begins to creep in. Wondering if everything left behind is safe. Wondering how the people they love will fare throughout the day without them physically present. This morning, bring that concern honestly before God, trusting Him to watch over what you cannot personally oversee once you walk out that door. This kind of worry is natural, and there is no need to feel guilty for carrying it. Caring deeply about the safety and well-being of your home and family is not a lack of faith. It is simply love expressing itself the way love often does, through concern for what matters most. The invitation this morning is not to stop caring, but to bring that care directly to God, rather than carrying it as anxious, unresolved worry throughout your entire day. Zechariah 2:5 offers a vivid image of God's protection, describing him as a wall of fire around his people. Notice the nature of this protection. It is not passive or distant. Fire is active, visible, and impossible to ignore. This is the kind of covering God offers over your home and family today. Not a vague hope that things will be fine, but an active surrounding protection that remains in place, whether or not you are physically there to witness it. Psalm 127:1 reminds us that unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain, and unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. This verse points to something important. No amount of locked doors, security systems, or careful planning can ultimately provide the kind of protection that comes from God Himself watching over your home. Those practical measures matter, but they are not the ultimate source of safety. He is. Ask Him this morning to be the true God over your household today, the one keeping watch even in the moments no human security measure could ever fully account for. Isaiah 54:17 offers a bold promise, declaring that no weapon forged against you will prosper. This applies not only to your own safety while you're away from home, but to the safety of everyone and everything you leave behind. Whatever concerns you might carry about your household today, financial pressures, family tension, physical safety, or simply the ordinary uncertainties of daily life, bring them before God this morning and release them into His care rather than carrying them anxiously with you throughout your day. 2 Thessalonians 3:3 reminds us that the Lord is faithful, and He will strengthen us and protect us from the evil one. This protection is not limited to your own physical presence. It extends to your family and your home, even while you are elsewhere. Trusting that God's faithfulness does not require your constant supervision in order to remain active and effective. Perhaps you are a parent leaving children in someone else's care today, whether at school with a caregiver, or simply trusting them to manage independently for a few hours. Perhaps you are leaving behind a spouse facing their own challenges today, or aging parents you worry about even from a distance. Whatever your specific situation, name it honestly before God this morning. Ask Him to watch over each person by name, to protect them from harm, to guide their decisions, and to surround them with the same covering of safety and peace you are asking for yourself. Psalm 121 reminds us that the Lord will watch over their coming and going both now and forevermore, just as surely as He watches over yours. This means the same faithful attention covering your own steps today is simultaneously covering the steps of everyone you love. In every location, all at once. His watchfulness is not divided or limited by distance the way human attention would be. He is fully present with you and fully present with them in the exact same moment without either receiving less care because of it. There is a particular kind of freedom that comes from truly releasing this worry into God's hands rather than simply suppressing it. Suppressed worry tends to resurface throughout the day, distracting you at unexpected moments, pulling your attention away from what is in front of you. Released worry, genuinely handed over to God, allows you to remain present and focused throughout your day, trusting that the concern you would otherwise carry has already been placed into far more capable hands than your own. Think about how a parent who has genuinely entrusted their child to a trustworthy caregiver can go about their day with a settled mind, checking in occasionally perhaps, but not consumed by anxious worry every moment. That same settled trust is available to you this morning regarding your entire household. Not because nothing could possibly go wrong, but because you have placed it into the care of someone far more capable and attentive than even the most vigilant human watchfulness could ever provide. As you step outside today, let this truth settle over you. Your home does not become unprotected simply because you have left it. Your family does not become unwatched simply because you are not physically present. God's covering extends across every mile between you and them, remaining just as active and effective there as it is wherever your day takes you. Whatever specific worry has been sitting quietly in the back of your mind about home this morning, name it now one more time and release it fully. You are not abandoning your responsibility to care by trusting God with it. You are simply choosing to carry that care as prayer instead of as anxiety, allowing your concern to become an act of faith rather than a source of constant, low-level dread trailing you throughout the day. Strength for whatever today brings. You do not know exactly what today holds. No one ever fully does. There may be moments of unexpected difficulty, a delay that throws off your entire schedule, a conversation that turns more tense than anticipated, a piece of news that catches you off guard. Rather than facing these unknowns already anxious about their possibility, ask God this morning for strength sufficient for whatever specifically arises, trusting that His provision meets you exactly where and when you need it, not a moment before. Habakkuk 3:19 offers a beautiful image of the strength God provides, describing the sovereign Lord as one's strength, who makes one's feet like the feet of a deer, enabling one to tread on the heights. Think about the sure-footedness of a deer navigating rocky, uneven terrain without stumbling. That same sure-footed confidence is available to you today, not because the terrain of your day will necessarily be smooth, but because the strength enabling you to navigate it comes from somewhere far steadier than your own natural ability. Isaiah 41:10 offers words that have comforted believers for generations. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Notice the progression in this promise: strengthening, helping, upholding. Whatever today requires of you, God is not offering a single generic form of support. He's offering exactly what each specific moment calls for: strength when you need strength, help when you need help, and a steady hand upholding you when you feel like you might otherwise stumble. Philippians 4:13 reminds us that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. This is not a promise that everything today will be easy. It is a promise that whatever proves difficult, you will not be facing it relying solely on your own limited resources. The strength available to you is not measured by how capable you personally feel this morning. It is measured by the one who has promised to supply it, regardless of how prepared or unprepared you currently feel. Perhaps you already sense today might be particularly demanding. A full schedule, a difficult conversation you cannot avoid, a physically or emotionally taxing set of responsibilities. Bring that specifically before God this morning. You do not have to pretend confidence you do not feel. Simply be honest about where you feel weak or unprepared, and ask Him to meet you exactly there with exactly the strength that specific weakness requires. There is no need to inflate your confidence before you walk out the door, pretending you feel more capable than you actually do this morning. God is not asking for false bravado. He is asking for honest dependence. Tell Him plainly where you feel unequal to what today may require, and trust that His strength does not need your confidence to activate. It simply needs your willingness to lean on Him, rather than pretending you can carry everything alone. There is something freeing about not having to muster strength entirely on your own before you even leave the house. You do not need to feel fully ready for everything. Today might bring in order to walk out that door with confidence. You simply need to trust that the strength you lack this morning will be supplied the moment you actually need it, not necessarily before. As you step outside, carry this assurance with you. Whatever surprises today holds, expected or otherwise, you are not facing them with only your own limited reserves. You are facing them, backed by a strength that has never once failed. Those who place their trust in it, a strength available in every unexpected moment throughout this entire day. 2 Corinthians 12:9 records, God telling the Apostle Paul that his grace is sufficient, for his power is made perfect in weakness. This is perhaps one of the most freeing truths available to you this morning. Your weakness today, wherever you feel it most, is not a disqualifier. It is actually the exact place where God's strength becomes most visible. You do not need to hide your limitations from him before leaving the house. You simply need to hand them over, trusting that his power fills precisely the gaps your own strength cannot reach. A closing prayer. Lord, before we step outside this morning, we bring this entire day into your hands. Thank you for watching over our coming and our going, for going ahead of us into every place we will walk into today. Surround us with your protection on every road we travel, guarding our steps and keeping us safe from harm we cannot even see coming. Fill us with a peace that does not depend on our circumstances staying calm, a peace strong enough to remain steady through whatever today brings. Give us wisdom for every decision ahead of us, both the significant ones and the countless small ones we may not even recognize as decisions in the moment. Establish the work of our hands today and use us as a source of encouragement to at least one person we encounter along the way. Watch over our homes and our families while we are away, standing as a wall of protection around everyone and everything we love, even in the places we cannot personally oversee. Thank you for the reminder that our concern for the people we love does not have to become anxious worry, but can instead become an act of trust, releasing them fully into your faithful care throughout every hour of this day. Let us walk out this door with our hearts settled, knowing that the same watchfulness covering our own steps is covering theirs as well. Strengthen us for whatever surprises today may hold, meeting us with exactly the help we need in exactly the moments we need it. Let us walk out this door not anxious about the unknown, but confident because we know who already knows every detail of what lies ahead. Where we feel weak or unprepared this morning, let your power be made perfect in that very weakness, filling every gap our own strength could never reach on its own. Thank you for going before us, for surrounding us, and for never leaving us to face this day alone. We receive your safety, your peace, and your blessing this morning, and we commit this entire day into your faithful hands. In Jesus' name, amen.